that subscribe button because we have a lot of fun on this channel. Like the video and leave me a comment down below. I post true crime videos every Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, ASMR style. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is based on a man named Scott Falater. He stabbed his wife 44 times. 44 times. And to put the icing on the cake, y'all, he drowned his wife in their backyard pool. If stabbing someone 44 times isn't enough, you literally drown them. Like, that is overkill. And you claim you was sleepwalking the whole time. This took place on January 16th, 1997. And fun fact, I was actually born 2 days after this crime took place. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some crime time. Warning, this content is for educational purposes only. Some viewers might find this disturbing. Parental discretion is advised. Scott and Yarmila both attended the same high school where they met. They married in college. They both furthered their education by getting a master's degree, Yarmila in education and Scott in engineering. Scott went on to become an engineer, and Yarmila became an assistant teacher. Their marriage was described as happy. They were both faithful and loving. They never fought. A friend of Yarmila asked her what she didn't like about Scott, and she replied, quote, "Nope, nothing. He's just a really great guy." They were beginning to make retirement plans. They both were raised Catholic, but later transformed to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He worked as a personal and family counselor and teacher in their church. They had 2 kids together, a son and a daughter. Their son Michael stated he had a very good childhood. He never seen his parents fight, not once. His dad worked very hard to support his family, and his mother spent some time being a stay-at-home mom. Before the murder, friends and family said the police had never been called to the home. The previous night, on January 15th, 1997, Scott worked a long day at his job as an electrical engineer for Motorola. He then came home to have dinner with his wife and 2 kids. After dinner, Scott prepared a lesson plan for the next day for his students at the church. That night, Yarmila asked her husband to fix their pool in the backyard. He attempted to fix it, but because it was dark and late, he gave up. When he came back inside, his wife was asleep. He woke her up with a kiss and told her he would fix the pool tomorrow and went to bed. Scott said he got little sleep that night. Scott stated the last thing he remembers is he was standing at the top of the steps with guns drawn, yelling at him to keep his hands visible and to lay on the floor. January 16th, 1987, at around 3 a.m., Yarmila had woken up to what sounded like someone walking on gravel outside of their bedroom window. Scott stated that he got out of bed to check it out and didn't find anything unusual, so he went back to bed. According to police, Scott stabbed his wife 44 times, dragged her body to their backyard pool, and drowned her. Their neighbors, Greg and Stephanie, woke up to screams and dogs barking. When they went to investigate, they saw a woman laying on the ground, slightly moving. At first, the neighbors thought she passed out from being intoxicated, but they saw Scott come out of the house, drag his wife to the pool, and hold her head underwater. Greg ran back to his house to call 911. During the 911 call, he stated, quote, "The husband just threw, I believe, the wife into the pool. It looked like he's holding her underwater." The dispatcher asked if they were fighting, and the neighbor states, quote, "I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. It's weird, and I'm concerned." Police arrived. They found Yarmila floating in the pool lifeless. Scott and the 2 kids were asleep in bed. evidence showed Scott washed the blood off of his body, his clothes, and the murder weapon. Witnesses stated they spotted Scott walking out of the home with gloves on. Scott was brought back to the police station for questioning. He stated he did not remember harming his wife. When the detectives pointed out the blood he had on his neck, he said he didn't realize it was there. The detective told him that a neighbor had seen him drown her in the pool, which caught him by surprise, but of course, the detective didn't believe him. Scott went to trial in June of 1999. The prosecutors argued that Scott was wide awake when he committed the murder. During the trial, the medical chief examiner, Dr. Philip Keene, testified that Yarmila was stabbed 44 times, and most of her stab wounds were defensive wounds, but some were fatal. The neighbor Greg testified that he saw Yarmila laying on the ground by the pool, and Scott was walking through the house, turning the lights on and off and squeezing his hands. He stated he saw Scott put gloves on, roll his wife into the pool, and hold her head down. Scott's attorney, Mike Kimmerer, originally wanted him to plead guilty by reason of insanity. Scott's mother and sister testified that he used to sleepwalk often, usually when he was under a lot of stress. They stated he would come downstairs fully dressed and walk into the living room like he was ready for school, but it would be midnight. He did this quite often. His mother, Lois, said when they would ask him about it, he wouldn't know what they were talking about and had absolutely no idea that happened. Scott's sister, Laura, stated one time when he was about 20 years old, she caught Scott sleepwalking in the kitchen. He was heading for the back door. When Laura tried to stop him, he grabbed her by the shoulders and tossed her. He looked extremely angry, like a demon had taken over him. She never saw him look like that. Scott's attorney built a defense around his sleepwalking occurrences, which Scott did admit he thought it was a little far-fetched. Scott consulted with sleep experts and agreed to undergo a sleep study in an Arizona hospital. After going through these treatments, Scott agreed with his attorney's defense and later presented it in trial, saying he had been under stress from overworking and lack of sleep, which caused him to sleepwalk and kill his wife. Two of the best sleep experts of that time took the stand and testified that they believe Scott killed his wife while sleepwalking. If she disturbed him, he could have seen her as a threat, which made him angrier. Two of his cellmates testified that they have witnessed Scott sleepwalking in his cell. Yarmila and Scott's kids testified that they both had a happy childhood and their parents were loving. Michael said in an interview with 2020 that he went to sleep that night as a happy 12-year-old and woke up to a police officer telling him his mother had died. One of the detectives took the stand and testified that when he searched the home, he found bloody clothes in a food container and a bloody hunting-style knife in a spare tire storage area in the back of Scott's car. The police stated this was his way of trying to hide evidence. One of the sleep experts stated it was unusual for a sleepwalker to do so many things during a single episode, and that he had to have been awake when he committed the crime. Scott took the stand and stated he had no memory of what happened. In the 1999 interview he did with the 2020, he said he committed an unforgivable sin, and what he did bothered him a lot. He also stated it didn't seem real. The jury found Scott guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Both of his kids supported him during his trial and sentencing. Scott said he has been in touch with both of them over the years. He stated, quote, "I couldn't be more prouder of them. I will go to my grave extremely proud of both of them." Michael said he has visited his father in prison. Since the pandemic hit, they have been limited to video calls. He also stated that Scott is his dad and he hopes to have a relationship with him whether he's in prison or not. Scott stated that he would never be able to forgive himself. He believes his wife has been willing to be more understanding and forgiving of him than how he feels about himself. He said he hopes to be reunited with her in heaven. Today, he is still in prison and will be for the rest of his life. He practices meditation, gets plenty of rest, and he has received other letters from sleepwalkers. He encourages anyone with a sleepwalking disorder to get treatment. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts down below. Also, I'm curious to know, it could have been 3 things that happened with this case. 1, Scott really could have been sleepwalking and this all took place and everything that he's saying is true. 2, he could have been sleepwalking, did something to Yarmila, woke up while he was committing the crime, and panicked and tried to cover everything up. Or 3, he planned to kill his wife and then just covered it up by saying he was sleepwalking. So let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Stay safe, stay blessed.